What's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti here, and behind me I have a handful of my cars. It's a Tuesday, so this is what isn't currently rented, and there is some confusion, and this is about, we're moving from Cosmos space here to my warehouse, which I've been updating, is almost done, and then we'll have a lovely warehouse filled with exotic cars. It's going to be really great. I'm doing storage in there as well. It's going to be really great. I feel like Trump. It's going to be a great warehouse, and we're going to have storage cars and then my rental cars in there as well. And there's confusion as to why I am renting cars, why do I own cars, all of this transactional confusion that dates back for a couple of years. And there wasn't a lot that I was willing to talk about at the time, but now I can tell you why I have won but also lost a little over $900,000. And it's actually more than that, but this is what happened, and I'll give you the story. So here in my hand, I have the decision from the American Arbitration Association for an award in my company's name of, coming right up, it was just over $900,000, $915,635.94. And that is money that has been earned and or spent by me, proving that it has been earned. And that is not damages, that is not like punitive damages, it's not like my heart was broken, that's none of that. That is money that was earned that was not paid to me, and then legal fees and arbitration fees associated with going through the process. Now, you've heard companies like Chase and stuff on the news about people or credit card companies trying to put people into arbitration. The reason they do that is because it's expensive. So what happened here? Well, I did a deal in 2015 with my company and another company to take over the rentals. And when I say that, it was an Audi R8 V10 Spider that just went by, for those of you saying, like, I wonder what that car was. I did a deal with another company. I'm not even gonna bother naming the name because I don't care, and it's not worth giving them the attention. I did a deal with them to rent out my cars. There was a sequence of events that led to that, partially because I had a looming class action lawsuit, and that was a potential $2+ million loss on our end. I made the video about that. That was the Gumball 3000 lawsuit that we ultimately won, was appealed, we won again. That was a class action garbage lawsuit. And it's no longer looming over our heads. And then Noah and our investor were sort of butting heads. So it was a sequence of reasons that we ended up selling the right to do the business for Gotham Dream Cars to another company. And I'll get into my business videos as to why this deal was structured the way it was. But in order to maximize the value out of the company, it made more sense to structure it with an earnout where we knew we were generating good business. But when you buy a company, you don't know what it's going to generate. If this company just bought the company and then we stepped away, there's a good chance that the business would go pew, and they were buying something that wasn't what they were paying for. Here, what we were saying is that you buy the company, we are going to prove to you that it's got a value, but you're going to pay us a little bit more by giving us a commission on the business that we generate. Problem is, they never ended up paying out on that commission. And then once the commission bill got a little too high, then they started questioning, well, can you prove that you sent us the business? Absolutely. It came through our website, came through our phone lines. How do you know we didn't tell them to call your phone lines? And that was the inherent argument that the other company was making through the arbitration. When it was fairly clear that they were going to lose the arbitration sooner than they thought, they ended up buying time by entering into settlement talks that ultimately we agreed on the settlement amount. They never ended up paying, or not even paying, but signing the settlement agreement to, in my opinion, give them more time to liquidate their assets. And in the end, they ended up defaulting on the arbitration, allowing us to get the default judgment for everything that we were entitled to, plus the legal fees, and then the arbitration fees associated that we were paying. And it cost them money to do this. They had to pay an attorney. I don't know if their attorney was paid, not paid, any of that. They had to pay the arbitrator a certain amount, even if it was $25,000, $50,000. That bought them a year and a half to to liquidate their company and essentially start new companies and allow us to get a judgment that is essentially toilet paper. And we're going to do everything we can to enforce this judgment. I've both got the arbitration agreement, and then, and I don't want to just flash this for the camera because I don't know what's sensitive, what's not. I don't want to be thrown in that. Then we had the Supreme Court of the state of New York had to accept the decision of the arbitrator and then memorialize that. My terminology may be off, but the state recognizes the arbitration, which is effectively a private court where both parties pay into it. They recognize the decision of the arbitrator, and then it's enforceable. Now we have to then get this perfected or carried over to the state of California, because California is where their company was located. Once California recognizes it, if that company has any bones there that we can start picking apart, we'll do that, but we'll have to probably choose another way to go after them. So why did I throw good money after bad? Well, if I knew the company was going out of business, I knew they didn't pay us, I knew there were bad actors, why would I spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to chase them? Well, the answer is because you have to. In business, this sucks, but when somebody owes you money, you can't just be like, whatever. It was about $650,000 for the arbitration period, which was the first 18 months in commissions that we were due that we weren't paid. And in doing so, we were chasing them for the very specific reason that, like, you can't just let somebody walk away. You can't just be like, you know what, they're deadbeats, they're not going to pay us, so let's just leave it be. You have to sort of fight the good fight, so to speak, get the judgment, get the awards, prove that you're due the money, and then try to get it. If it's something where these guys did something that they weren't supposed to do and they took the money that they weren't supposed to take out of the company, we could try to claw that back. Again, you keep throwing money at it, but you can't just let people sort of push you around in business. Whether it's an expensive lesson that I learned or just a very, very long, hard-fought battle to get the money that we're due, it's sort of fighting the good fight. The lesson that I take out of all of this is no matter what deal you do, you have to control the cash. Never let anything get too far behind. If this deal would have been completely different if I controlled the flow of money, which I thought was less clean than letting them control it and then pay us back, because Gotham Dream Cars went from a rental company to then a lead generating company. We became a broker. And once that deal fell apart, I went and bought cars and once again became a rental company. And that is essentially why I have these cars behind me and more, because I had to step back into the ring where I didn't want to, because without these guys generating business for me, nobody was going to be able to do the fulfillment for the leads that I was generating, and then I had to get back into the business. So that's why these cars were here. I am now out. And when I say I'm out, $915,000, that is money I spent on both the arbitrator, it's money I spent on attorneys, and it's money that we were due that we didn't receive. And that's only for the first 18 months. We continued to hobble along with them during the arbitration period until you saw me buy the AMG GT, which was the first car I bought to start the rental company, when they were selling off assets during our settlement, when they were trying to get the settlement ironed out and signed and just kept delaying it. As they were selling off cars, I said, look, you guys it's the middle of the summer. You have 3 cars. I've got to start buying some cars, because all we're doing is people are calling up to rent cars, and all I'm telling them is that we're sold out. So not good. If I could tell you how to try to steer clear of situations like this, it's really tough. Arbitration is something that a lot of companies like to write into a contract, and it's good, it's clean, and you have a neutral decision, and it's binding. It's not, what's the word I'm looking for, Shivam? Arbitration is binding, and mediation is not binding. So mediation, if you go into, that was me, not Shivam. If you go to a mediator, they'll try to resolve the matter, but then you can always dispute it. Arbitration is a binding decision by a neutral third party selected by both parties, and you can avoid my headache. But obviously I've had my share of headaches in the past couple of years. I couldn't make videos on them because it was to be determined who was at fault. this arbitration decision and supporting document from the Supreme Court of the state of New York solidifies that we were right and we were not paid what we were due. And now I have a fight, but there is interest due on this $915,635.94 at the rate of 9% per annum from February 28, 2019, which is when this was decided, and not a penny has been paid to this date. So that number is on $900,000, 9%, that's going to be another $90,000 a year roughly. So it's probably $1 million right now, or it's pretty close to it, that we're due and that we're going to have to try to chase after. But my $1 million mistake is a $1 million lesson to you guys, as far as if you do a deal with a company and you do something, make sure that payments are current. Don't give them the benefit of the doubt. We looked at their financials. We vetted the company. When big money gets involved, you never know what's going to happen. If you can control the finances, definitely do it. We were only due 20% of the transactions, which is why we said, why would we possibly want to control the 100% of the money to collect our 20? And now, you know, if we actually did that, I could see this whole deal working much differently. We would have been paid all of our money. We would have been much happier. They would have been making more money, but they would only have been receiving the 80% they were due. But there's bad people in this world, and you deal with them, and I learned my lessons and I share them with you. So thank you for watching. Now you know why. I'm about to go to Europe, but you'll see videos of my warehouse. Once I get back from Europe, we will do the big reveal. We will do the big open house that everybody will be invited to, and you guys can come wish me well and stop by Gotham Dream Cars and rent a car. It's probably somebody calling to rent a car right now. So it's not. It's the Click Group, which is probably a fraud call. So we'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. Hello.